All right, Jen. So we just had this arrive. So at the moment, I've just been collecting water. We've got one decent sized water butt, and then I've been putting a trug underneath my sort of adapted gutterings. So we collect water, or harvest water from about 4 or 5 different areas in the garden, but just with those, and then we just dip a watering can into it. But this is from eBay, and it was 13 quid. Annoyingly, it was then 13 quid to get it delivered as well. But if it's decent and if this works, I'm going to buy a few of these, and then we'll just be able to basically let the water build up and then just dip a watering can whenever we want to water, particularly the greenhouses. So yeah, that is the plan. So I'll get that in place because there's a storm coming. So hopefully that'll do the job. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 gutters here. So if we get 4 of these, if it works, I'm just going to make sure they haven't got any holes in, and that it's easy enough to get your watering can in. But yeah, that should give us a hell of a lot more water for whenever it does rain. Happy days. Job done. So we'll crack on with this today. Work out some sort of doorway that we can easily get on and off. And so the rest of it is nice and secure. I've took out those brassicas that were riddled with cabbage white caterpillars, and the ground is all ready for the next lot of planting. I might sow some things direct in here, see how that goes, and then I'll sow some seedlings today in trays and bring them into the house this time so that nothing can be laid on them. The door is made, so all I've done is just attach it by 3 screws into the frame at the moment, and then it's on a little hook, which is just another 75mm screw there, but that will do the job. I might get some hinges or something and work out how to sort of sort that out, but I've got no hinges at the moment, so that will have to do, and it will do the job, no problem at all. So it's just a matter now of planting in there and hoping that we are not too late and we can get some brassicas for the autumn and winter. So that's that job done. I cut back all those tomato, all the foliage off the tomatoes so that the sun could get to everything else yesterday. So that was another good job sorted. Kirsten's going to start taking some cuttings and stuff ready for the autumn, winter. So I've got to get these tomatoes out fairly soon. I've got the aubergines, another 2 aubergine plants there. I might put those in the conservatory actually. Now that the weather's getting a little bit cooler. It was certainly a lot cooler this morning when I let the dogs out about 5:30. So plenty to do. I want to cut the grass today as well. So next job is the old brassica bed. I'm going to keep this framework on, and I've got some fleece, so if I need to protect anything going into winter, that can just drape over there. But these Galvanised, they've served us well. We've had loads of stuff off it, but since they've been exposed to butterflies, they've been sort of starting to get decimated, and this is getting a bit tough. So we need to do some succession sowing of Galvanised, and then find a home for it in the new brassica cage, brassica bed. So we'll strip this, prep the soil for something for the autumn. So these figs have survived quite nicely. I'm not sure how far away they are from being harvested. I've not grown figs before. I know my mum and dad did when they lived in Cyprus, so I might ask them. But yeah, looking all right, aren't they? Morning. So it's a beautiful day today, really nice after a few sort of changeable days. So I did get on with quite a few things yesterday. I'll show you what we did. So we took the alyssum out of this the lavender border. So these lavenders were tiny when we put them in, and they're starting to get established, but we needed something in between for this year in particular, just so it didn't look bare. So we took all of the alyssum out, and today I'm going to properly sort of weed the rest of this. There's not much, but there's one or two weeds still to do. So I'll make that look better, ready for the autumn winter. Not sure what we'll put in next year, whether we'll need to add anything else or we'll just keep it purely for lavenders as they get more and more established. I cut the grass yesterday, and I also started the hedge cutting. I haven't done any hedge cutting. I've sort of like stayed off and let it just grow naturally. We have our neighbours here today. Hello. Hello. Oh, you're a bit scattish today, aren't you? What's up with you? Hello. Scary man. Yeah, so against my sort of natural instincts to have everything neat and tidy, I've let this hedge grow quite a bit untrimmed all year, and I've enjoyed it. I haven't. It hasn't been a hassle to me. But yesterday I trimmed all the way from the compost area all the way down here. Haven't done the top yet. I'm going to do that in about October, just once, just as a one-off. Last year when we came in July up until about October, I actually cut the hedge about 3 times, and it's just a waste of energy, to be fairly honest with you. You can do it now and then a final trim in October, and then that's it for the whole year. I've still got this to do, which I will try and do today, just this last little section and the lawn area, and just sort of trim this off. But yeah, garden's looking good. Compost bin's really starting to fill up now. That one is all the sort of softer stuff. This is more of the hedge trimmings, and I did a little bit of pruning of the apple trees, so that's still got to be processed. I'll either put it through a shredder or I'll put it on the grass and then run over it on a high setting with the mower so that rots down better. We cleared the tops off the remaining potatoes. They've got a row of Charlottes and a row of Maris Piper, and they'd all died back, the actual growth on the top. So there's still potatoes to harvest there, which we'll keep them in the rows in the ground until I actually use them. So I'll basically do one plant at a time. When we need some potatoes, they're just as good in the ground as they are in our kitchen area, the larder. So I've started working on the apple tree, and all I've done is where you get the sort of like the new growth after the last set of apples, I've started to trim this back just to lose a little bit of weight off some of these branches, because they are quite heavy and weighing them down. There's Jenny. She wants to come out, but Benji's kicking off with the cows, so I've had to put them all in just for a few minutes. Yeah, so I'll work on, yeah, this is an example. So that branch there can come off about here. I've done a lot of them, so that's why I can't find the ones. I suppose just there. So basically, I'll take this off and then also start trimming some of the growth up there as well. So that one, for instance, there's an apple there somewhere. Where is it? There. So I'll take that sort of wispy growth off and just thin this out a bit. I'm not going to do a massive prune on this tree this year because it's worked really well last year. I'll just be a bit more gentle with it, but certainly that top 3 foot off each of those, something like that, and that'll make it nice and healthy for next year. These circular borders around the new fruit trees have worked really well. That one's slightly less so. We've had to fill in with some lavenders because they didn't all take, but everything else has gone really well. The same over there as well. Oh, what are these called? Something, a Beerus Candy Tuft, something like that. But they've looked great in these smaller circular borders. We've tidied up the border the last few days as well, so this is looking good again. A lot of things are going over now, but still looks pretty impressive. We have got so many walnuts. On every single branch. So I'm expecting lots of visits from the squirrels fairly soon. See if we can actually harvest some ourselves this year. Surely they're not going to eat all these. Cows have been really weird today, really scatty, and let's have a look at them. Eating my bloody hedge. Right, Jen. Right, Benji Boo. Where's Ed? Here he is. Just about to see the cows, I would guess. Come on, calm down. Benji! They're not bothered. So that's thinned out a little bit. Not done it all, I'm just going to do it gradually. Any branches that were crossing, anything that had just grown too long has now been trimmed back a bit on this side, and I've done a little bit on the other side. I will still work on this because it's getting just a bit too congested, some of these branches, where they're sort of like rubbing against each other. So I'll work on that over the next few weeks. This part of hedge, as you saw, has been done now, so all a bit neater, goes all the way along there, which I did yesterday. Haven't done the tops yet, but that'll be done in a month or two's time. Overall, yeah, that was a good morning's work, and I shall now go for a nice cup of tea. Can't remember if I showed you about this bucket or not. Barrel. So that's the new barrel that we got. We've devised a way of getting the water to the barrel. I've drilled this hole and that just simply goes in there. Nice and simple, but hopefully that will give us a hell of a lot more water than before. So if we can do that 1, 2, 3, 4 barrels here, and then one behind the other compost bin back there. There is some gutter in there already. That should suffice. So we've got this half of the lavender ring where we've taken the alyssum out, but we haven't weeded yet. So there's still stuff to work on in this. But I have finished now the other side. So I'll show you the difference. There's Eddie and Benji. It's a bit hot, lads, isn't it? Hey? Yeah, a bit hot today. You're good lads, aren't you? Showing their age, aren't they? Eh? Right, anyway, so yeah, this has all been, the lavender's been cut back, everything's been weeded. I filled in some gaps where there were certain lavenders that weren't doing very well, so they've got some smaller seedlings in there. But yeah, that's a decent job done, and a decent day done. It's about 3:30 now. I had about 4 hours in the garden today. It's been a good day. It's very, very hot, so I'm going to go and have a nice cold drink and crash out for an hour or two. So this is my brother's garden. It's about the same size as ours, without maybe the side bit, but it's got a lovely pond that he's done himself. This was just a bare field when he took it on about 3 years ago. Steve and Elaine, my brother and sister-in-law. She does all the work really, but I think he dug out the pond. But they've got really nice sort of wild section at the back here. And this in sort of May, June, July time looks fantastic. It's just gone over now. And then really nice borders all the way along. And then a little sort of veggie area down the side. Do I need permission?
Have you got right?
I'll give you a percentage of everything I earn.
Oh wow.
So yeah, not bad. Not as good as mine, obviously, but you know, it's good. And look, they've been really inventive with naming their greenhouses. Now this one's not got a name. I'm trying to think what they might call it. It's really nice. Right, so I'm going to wind up the vlog now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell or whatever that is, so that you actually see my videos. A lot of the time when I'm watching people, all of a sudden they don't come up for weeks on end and I'm thinking they haven't done any videos, and in fact they have, but you've just not been notified. Anyway, a like, a positive comment, all that sort of malarkey, all helps the channel. And yeah, see you in a week or two's time. Cheers guys, thanks.